Do you remember a time when the day wound down with the sun? Do you remember the porch in the evening, the creak of a swing, iced tea on the table? When the evening entertainment wasn't a glowing screen in your hand, the crickets starting their nightly song, the soft murmur of conversation on the front porch? I sure do. We'd sit out there, grown-ups with iced tea, us kids chasing fireflies until we were called in. The world felt bigger and smaller at the same time. News traveled from neighbor to neighbor, not from push notification to push notification. Welcome back to the colony legacy. On one hand, a multi-million-dollar corporation running the most advanced technology. On the other, a home life that looks like it's from a century ago. This isn't a contradiction, it's a carefully designed choice. Today, we decode the Hutterite technology paradox. Over the years, I've spent time with folks from every walk of life, doing every kind of job imaginable. But few have surprised me more than the Hutterites. From a distance, you might see them as people who've turned their backs on the modern world. But you'd be wrong. In their barns and workshops, you'll find some of the most advanced technology on the planet. Robotic milking machines that know each cow by name, GPS-guided tractors that practically drive themselves, sophisticated computer systems managing massive agricultural operations worth millions of dollars. These folks are not afraid of technology. They embrace it. They master it. They use it to build incredibly successful businesses that can compete with anyone. But then you step across an invisible line. You walk from the workshop into one of their homes, and the 21st century seems to vanish. You won't find a television flickering in the corner. You won't see a teenager scrolling through social media on a smartphone. The technology that is so essential to their work life is almost completely absent from their home life. It's a deliberate, carefully constructed boundary. The hustle and efficiency of their businesses give way to a quiet, communal, and distinctly non-digital domestic world. This is the Hutterite paradox. So, how do they do it? How do they decide which technology gets a green light and which one is stopped at the colony gate? It all comes down to a simple yet profound guiding principle. For the Hutterites, technology must be a tool, not a toy. Every piece of software, every new invention is judged. Does this thing serve the community and its work, or does it serve the individual's private leisure and open the door to outside influences? A tool helps the community prosper. It makes work more efficient, saves fuel, saves seed, and saves time, benefiting the entire colony. A sophisticated accounting program helps manage communal finances and ensures long-term stability. A toy, television, a personal smartphone, the internet used for browsing and social media, is designed for individual entertainment and distraction. Instead of strengthening the community, these things pull people away into isolated digital worlds and act as a pipeline for outside values. This tool versus toy philosophy unlocks the Hutterite approach. It's not anti-technology, it's pro-community. If you think Hutterite work is all pitchforks and overalls, you need to visit one of their farms. These are not quaint hobby farms, they are massive, high-tech agricultural powerhouses. I've been on factory floors that were less automated. On a typical colony, you'll find a fleet of combines and GPS-guided tractors moving in formation. Precision down to the inch. That minimizes overlap, saves enormous amounts of fuel and seed, and maximizes the yield from every single acre. In dairy barns, you might find robotic carousel milking parlors, RFID ear tags tracking health and milk yield, and automated feed mixers adjusting rations. All this data feeds into central computer systems monitored by managers who are as much data analysts as farmers. Many colonies have diversified into manufacturing. Injection molding, CNC, laser cutters, robotic welders, CAD design, and ERP systems. They attend trade shows, read industry journals, and sometimes have better internet than nearby towns. But it's firewalled, and for business only. The same person who programs a robotic welder will go home to a house where none of that technology is welcome. The line is drawn at the door of the workshop, sharp and clear. They use cutting-edge tools to generate surplus, but domestic life remains intentionally analog. Once the workday is done, the tools of the trade are put away. Life inside the colony changes dramatically. The most obvious absence is the smartphone. You simply will not see a Hutterite walking around texting or scrolling. Personal cell phones are forbidden. The reasoning goes back to their core philosophy. A smartphone is the ultimate toy. The answer for necessary outside communication is often a small building known as the phone shanty. a communal phone booth for short, purposeful calls. Its use is public and observable, discouraging long private conversations and enforcing purposeful communication. Televisions are banned. Personal computers and unrestricted internet are not allowed in homes. The connection is for business, filtered and firewalled. The home is for family, faith, and community fellowship, for singing, playing games, and face-to-face conversation. These boundaries protect children from algorithms and influencers and preserve a social fabric shaped by elders, not screens. It's a radically different approach to domestic life, one that prioritizes human connection over digital connection, a choice they actively make day after day. The process for adopting new technology is as deliberate and communal as everything else they do. No single person decides. A proposal is brought before voting members, typically all baptized adult men. The issue is discussed at length in services and council meetings. They weigh cost, ROI, safety, whether it strengthens or weakens community life, and the social and spiritual impact. After discussion and prayer, the matter is put to a vote. If the majority agrees, the technology is adopted. If not, the idea is dropped. Change happens slowly and intentionally so everyone understands the purpose and feels collective ownership. I'm not asking you to move to a colony. Most of us aren't built for that life, and that's okay. But we can learn something from their intentionality. We stumbled into the digital age. We adopted first and asked questions later. The Hutterites asked early and intentionally. Their key lesson is the power of intention. Treat technology as a choice, not an inevitability. Ask, what is this for? What will it do to us? Simple ideas we can steal. A basket for phones by the door, no phones at dinner, designating tech-free times or one day a week. Look at the tech in your life. Which apps make you more productive, creative, or connected? Those are tools. Which ones kill time or feed outrage? Those are toys. So where is your line? Is the smartphone in your pocket a tool or a toy? Be honest, the Hutterites draw a hard line between work technology and home technology. In your own life, is there a piece of technology you feel has blurred that line too much? Share your experience in the comments. Maybe the biggest takeaway isn't about robots or phones. It's about living with purpose, deciding what you value most, and having the courage to protect it. Thank you for joining us on the Colony Legacy. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into intentional communities and the choices that shape them. The Hutterites' pragmatic approach to technology stands in stark contrast to their cousins, the Amish. To understand a completely different blueprint for living in the modern world, click on the video on your screen now to watch our foundational episode on America's most private community, the Amish Enigma. Thank you for joining us on the Colony Legacy.